Hey, what's going on, guys? Rhino here, and as promised in my last video, this video is going to be about why you guys shouldn't join Freedom, why you should leave Freedom as soon as possible. This is a video that was uploaded on my main channel with 60,000 subscribers, but that channel was sadly terminated, and so I'm re-uploading this so I can help people out. The point of this video is solely to help people and protect people who might already be partnered by this horrible network. This might turn out to be kind of a long video because I'm going to have to re-explain everything that happened. So basically what happened was Freedom, well, I was partnered by Freedom on my old secondary channel under my own network under Freedom. And I worked through making videos for that channel for a while, made quite a few videos, and a couple of my videos got really viral. Like, they went pretty damn viral, and I earned the span of from August, like between, well, it was like started in really late July. Yeah, really late July, and went till like midway, like 3/4 of the way through August, I think, maybe a little bit longer, something like that. But basically, it was like from July to August, and I made a lot of money in that time span. And Freedom, or in September, so not long after that, my channel was terminated for selling paid promotions. The Freedom staff have already they're the ones who pointed that out to me, that the reason why I was terminated was for selling promotions, which is a non-copyright termination, but we'll get back to that in a little bit. So my channel was terminated on September 6th, and then I didn't get paid. In the first video, I included a ton of information about how I had a feeling I wasn't gonna get paid, but now we're at the point where I know I didn't get paid. It was I earned Freedom, it was like a total payment of like $7,000. I'm going to say, I didn't say the money amount before. Now I'm going to say it. Freedom owed me, I earned $7,000 from those videos on my secondary channel. My channel was terminated, and Freedom didn't pay me. The problem lies in the fact of why I was terminated. I was terminated for selling paid promotions, which is a non-copyright termination. The only time YouTube doesn't pay Freedom is when it's a copyright termination, because then even YouTube doesn't earn money. They send all the money back to the advertisers. In this time, it wasn't. So basically, Freedom got paid. Freedom received, well, because of the split, like $9,000 or $10,000, and they were supposed to pay me $7,000 ish, roughly around there, and they kept all $10,000 for themselves. I earned this 19-year-old college student earned Freedom $10,000, and they kept it all for themselves, which is really sad. They had full ability to pay me. They should have paid me. Freedom would not have terminated their network. YouTube would not have terminated Freedom's network, or MCN or anything like that. Freedom would not have gotten in trouble. They could and they should have paid me. That's why I was pissed in the first place. So Freedom is a very scammy network in that sense. They have a lot of really sketchy clauses in their contract about withholding money, about looking into your channel to look for suspicious things that no other networks have. I know what contracts look like for other networks, and none of the other networks do that, because they're not about looking for ways to sneak in. That guy, his content is a little fishy. Let's hold his money, and then not pay him out, and just be like, oh well, we're just holding the money to conduct an investigation. We want to see if your views are coming from a legitimate source, and then they just hold the money for themselves. This has happened to quite a few people, by the way. A lot of people. I had a lot of people before my network was terminated. I had a lot of people, from who we partnered, who are now just partnered directly with Freedom. They came to me and they were wondering why they weren't getting paid. It's because Freedom decided to do this really weird thing that they shouldn't have done, and it's wrong. It's horrible. It's so sad what they did, but yeah, I should have gotten paid. So that was basically what I said in my first video, and then not long after that, a couple days later, Stefan, one of the higher up staff members within Freedom, made a response to that video where he basically doesn't answer anything. He doesn't respond to anything I actually say. He just goes out to basically call me immature. Like he even called me a kid at one point. And he doesn't answer anything. He didn't respond to the issue. He beat around the bush. Like you could tell that Freedom was in the wrong because he didn't directly address what I was saying. He basically made up excuses for random things at random places that weren't solid pieces of, like, solid rebuttals. They were bullshit. And it was funny because there was my video and then there was Stefan's response, and my video had like 70,000 views on it, and it had way more likes than dislikes. And then Stefan's video had like 3,000 views on it, and there were like the percentage for dislikes was like 60%. So it was like 60% dislikes, 40% likes, and the comments were all basically about, Freedom should not have withheld the money from me and stuff like that. So I got a ton of support on that, and then I made a response to his video, and my response got a ton of support too. It got like 30,000, 40,000 views, somewhere around there. And once again, the likes crushed the dislikes. But in his response, he the only thing worthwhile that he said supported me, because he was saying the only thing worthwhile that he pointed out was the fact that it was a non-copyright termination, that it was because of the paid promotions that I was selling. And so that right there is proof that Freedom could and should have paid me. And so the video was pointless. People, didn't really listen to it because there was no serious reasoning behind it. It was a very unprofessional video. Like it was awful. It was pathetic to watch. But he made no good points. And in my response, I basically called him out on all the illegitimate points that he made and explained why that his video just furthered my reasoning. Well, besides he didn't even address the actual issue, it furthered the reasoning for why I should have gotten paid. Because the only reason he could come up with why I shouldn't get paid was because I was terminated for a fishy reason. He actually said fishy reason. And paid promotions aren't fishy. We know what they are. We know why I was terminated, and we know Freedom, or YouTube will pay Freedom at that point. So, yeah, it's not that fishy, and the issue is should be solved right there. From that point, I got a lot of support. I moved my network, Imagine, because we got terminated by Freedom. We worked under Freedom, and we were terminated by Freedom after I made the first video, which was bullshit because I wasn't actually a part of the network anymore. And so they just terminated this random network because I made that video, which, made absolutely no sense whatsoever. But then my friend moved it over under Asafin, and I rejoined because I realized we were with a better network. And so we... sorry, someone's out in the hall. We became an official network under Asafin now, and we are way better now. We have a better contract. We have a no lock-in contract, so we pay 70-30, so we pay a higher percentage. We have more openings to earn more, as well as other things, but I'm not really here to advertise that, other than we do pay out on termination, which Freedom does not do, which is really sketchy. It's another thing. Another reason why I was pissed was because with my channel partnered by so my channel is partnered by Freedom. If my channel was partnered by Freedom, by Fullscreen, or by RPM, like 3 different scenarios. My channel is partnered by Freedom. That thing happens, I don't get paid. They keep all the money for themselves. My channel is partnered by Fullscreen. Same thing happens, I get paid. Same thing with RPM. Same thing with Machinima. I'm 95% sure it's the same thing with Broadband TV. So yeah, I should have gotten paid. That was the bottom line. They never addressed that. They just said, "Oh well, we're contractually able to withhold the money," and it's like, so you're basically just admitting you're money whores, that you want to earn, you want to take money from a college student who needs the money and keep it for yourselves when you're in a network with, you brag about how many partners you have, so obviously you make some revenue. It's just a shitty situation. I would highly suggest anyone who has any interest in the money they earn from their channel at all, not saying that's your sole reason for doing it. I've clearly stated it's not my reason for doing it. I just like to, when I'm promised money, I like to actually earn that money, and so that's why I switch networks. I would highly suggest that you guys switch networks. If you even the slightest bit like the money, especially if you're doing it for a charitable type reason, because if you run these events and you earn a bunch for charity, and then your channel gets terminated for a dumb reason like mine was, then you'll lose all that money, and the charity will just be screwed out of however much money that is. And so if you have any interest in the money and actually earning the money, I would highly suggest not joining Freedom, or really releasing from Freedom as soon as possible and joining whatever network you want to. Of course, I'm going to advocate my network, but you're free to join whatever network you want. Most other networks pay. I have advocated full screen, but apparently a lot of people don't like them. So, you can figure out what you want to do from there. I'm not going to push you one way or the other. Let's see. Was there anything else? I did post one final results video for the issue, and I just simply stated that Freedom did not end up paying me because people were wondering. Never received the payment, and it's 4 or 5 months later, and it's just not going to happen. Freedom took the direction of, when someone has a problem with their network, ignoring them and trying to shut them up as much as possible, instead of trying to solve the situation, which is a horrible thing for a network to do. Horrible. The unprofessionalism is blatant there, that they didn't even try to work with me at all. They didn't even try to negotiate with me or try to make things right. They did nothing. They just tried to ignore me, made one response video that was really unprofessional that I tore apart in my response to that, and that was it. They even went as far as to tell some of their staff members not to have contact with me. A lot of other very unprofessional things. So this is kind of just a summary of everything that happened. This is not everything that happened in every single one of my videos, because I don't remember all the details, and it would probably be like a 40-minute video if I were to try to do that. Once again, guys, I don't have access to this channel, so I won't be responding to any comments. If you do have any comments and you need me to respond, please message my Twitter, which my friend will put in the description below. I do have access to that because I'm not banned from Twitter. And that's about it for the video, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure to comment, rate, and subscribe. Release from Freedom, and have a nice day.